So that went exactly the way we predicted. South Africa whitewashed in a T20 series against a good West Indian side. And to be fair, we never looked like we had a chance. They completely outclassed us, and kudos to the West Indians. But there has been a lot to look out for with the South African side as well. Mostly bad, with a few good things. Now, I've got the boys back with me today, and we're going to chat all about that T20 series, and then, of course, include FIFER yet again. So, boys, what did we make of that? We didn't have high expectations, but I don't think the expectations were as low as what we ended up seeing. Divi, what did you make of it?
Yeah, like you said, is exactly what we expected. That first game, I think, we started off very badly with the bat. I think we did well to recover and get to a
Yeah.
decent score. But you know, last week, BoiMaam, you did say Athens was your man, and in that first innings, he showed it. Through the leg side, very strong, and we just couldn't keep them under control on the first six. And then when Puran came back out, it was carnage. Um,
Poof.
and the second game, kind of the opposite of what happened. We the bowling still was pretty average, but we did okay to keep them to sort of 170 odd, 180, and then started well with the bat, and then just didn't finish strong at all. And the last game, look, it was by that
Poof.
stage, we weren't playing for much, and the rain did hamper us a bit. We didn't start well before the rain either. A lot of dot balls. Started getting going, which is quite difficult. We started in the last five or six balls with three boundaries, and then went off for rain, and then just never recovered. Weren't able to get ourselves in, and Doc with Lewis didn't help us because we lost quite a few wickets. Look, some bright spots. I think Quena was all right, but other than that, it's it was a tough series for us.
I think Stubbo definitely deserves a shout.
Yes, no, 100%. Starville definitely deserves a
Look
shout.
normal again. It looked like the
Yeah,
Stubbs that we know,
100%.
not
But
one
he looks
that's
like
trying
the
to be
only guy that's
suppressed.
in any sort of form with the bat there.
Mm.
Everyone struggled. Not a bad start for a guy like Patrick Kruger. I think he put his hand up, I guess, especially in that first innings. And he didn't look too bad with the ball either. I think we've got to accept that in this form of the game, you're going to disappear for some runs, but I think he did all right with the ball. But he definitely put his hand up when the team needed him in the first game with the bat.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with Divi. It looks like in each of the games we played well in bits and pieces, but
Yeah.
the one glaring thing was the bowling attack. We could see that it was a very much a second string bowling attack. I don't understand why we would rest our entire frontline bowlers. That's KG, Nokia, Janssen, Kesh, Shamsi, all of the bowlers that were there in the World Cup, apart from Bartman, were not in the series. So I don't understand what we're trying to plan for. Um, the West Indies guys, their squad was obviously a little bit different, but a huge chunk of it was still their World Cup squad, bar a few players that they rested. And they haven't played significantly less cricket than South Africa. So I don't understand why we rested so many, let's call them first team players, even with the batting. Klaasen, okay, Miller is on his way out, but he's not officially retired. But I just didn't understand that point. And you could see the bowling lineup just looked way out of the depth. I mean, you got a guy, Shea Hope, that's batting at a strike rate of 200 in each game. Um, I agree, Quinn is still young, he did well. Patrick Kruger, he didn't show much to say that he's a better all-rounder than Janssen. He's not going to dislodge him. Mulder, I think, was just there to make up the numbers, play the game in the last game. But yeah, batting in parts. I had a thought earlier today that it looks like Rickleton is going to be our version of Sanju.
I thought the
So
exact same thing while
when
watching
he
him.
gets his chances,
Jeez.
he just looks trash. And then he goes on the domestic circuit, smashes it up. We all call for him, and then when he's in the team, just doesn't perform.
Yep.
All of the games he got starts, he just never took on.
People have been likening him to Sanju for the same reason. He seems like a domestic
Mm.
bully where he makes a lot of runs at home and then he goes out to play for South Africa and it never clicks. But back to what you guys are both saying, the bowling attack looked putrid, absolutely shocking.
Mm.
We went in with an eight string bowling lineup. Otniel, fair enough, was in the World Cup. wasn't that great, was decent in bits. I think Quena deserves every shout. He's only 18, just over
Yeah,
18. The 19th
he's
over
coming
that he
back to
bowled in
write
the
his exams
second.
now.
Exactly, he still has matric exams, right? 19th over in the second T20 went for four. And I think kudos to him for having a bit of gusto, a bit of guts. Even after he got pumped in the last game, he came back. The last over went for 12, but in the context was much better. Batting wise, as with the questions we had previously, why was Rasi there? Apparently, he was there for experience, but I don't know. It didn't look like anything like it. Riza, same old questions, had one knock, and then essentially that 9 of 20 cost us in the final game. I understand he didn't think, okay, rain, blah 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 blah, but you should never be
Nah, but by
scoring
then
9
the
of
series was
20.
gone, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
And
not
then
really
Patrick,
gonna look too much into the last game. It
yeah,
was the first two
myself
matches.
is a 13 over
This,
game, lots of
the
rain,
second
blah blah.
match, the second match, they were primed to win. What, they were 113 after 13, 14 overs,
And then
and
a
then lost
crumble.
7 for 20. 7
Absolutely
for
shocking.
20.
And
Nah.
I think captain needs to take a bit of the stick, because Markram wasn't great yet again. It's been happening repeatedly now, and at a point we need to go, hold on. You're getting a bit too many chances here in and amongst all of the nonsense that's going on. Just to come back very quickly, Patrick Kruger, I think, even though you're right in he's not going to dislodge Marco, I think he's definitely a better option than some of the others that are in and around that spot. So definitely kudos to him for putting his hand up. I think he bowled quite decently, used the slow ball quite
He
well,
bowled.
and that knock in the first game was solid to say the least. But yeah, West Indies. What did we make of the key performers? Shea Hope definitely won. Nikki P definitely won. Akil
Nicky
Hussain,
P, bro,
but
yeah.
Yeah, look, that batting lineup is strong. I mean, Athene is at the top. Shea Hope, amazing. Nicky P, destructive. We didn't see much of the rest of the batting lineup. I think Powell, I think played the first two games, didn't get many, but hit a couple to the boundary. Um, but geez, that bowling lineup, I think, is what set was the difference between the two teams. South African bowling lineup, very inexperienced, all over the place. But that West Indian side with the ball did very well.
Yeah. Because the spinners, they bowled well, but the top three wicket takers in the series were their frontline seamers. That just goes to show how bad our bowling lineup was. Romario Shepherd, he played the third seamer well. That guy, Matthew Ford, to be honest, I never heard of him before the series.
uh,
Matthew
you,
And then
Forehead.
Shamar Joseph.
Matthew Forehead.
Take it?
We'd like to.
Have you seen that before? It's bigger than mine. Huge Forehead. Let's call him Matthew
And,
Forehead.
and on that note, we'd like to welcome back Kums, who returns from his hiatus, to mention the first thing that you said was nothing cricket related. Matthew Forehead. To be fair, I don't know how Matthew Ford got wickets in that first game. It seemed like nonsense bowling that was just getting clipped, mistimed to the fielders. But yeah, Coombs, we'll catch you there then. What did you make of the series?
Yeah, I don't have many words from my side. Utter disappointment. But I think we said before, I remember back from the other episode, that it's a time to try things out. I think from all the trial, there's one takeout for me, and that was Stubbs. I'm sure you guys feel the same.
Yeah, fair enough. Just before you joined us, we were literally saying Stubbo was a bit of a standout. 144 runs, solid. Definitely going to be a fixture in the white ball format going forward. We have questions about the red ball, but we'll leave that for another day. Now, what do we do going forward with this T20 side? Do we rejig again completely, throw away all of these guys, or keep some of
Nah,
them in?
I mean, Jason Smith was just there for the ride. Maybe give him a
Shame.
shot.
My boy.
Rickleton, I think you have to persist with him. The Riza spot is probably under some risk at the moment, but I think they'll still keep him on. I, I don't see them changing much. We know that the bowling lineup is going to be completely different. But what do you do with the top order? We need to score runs, and we need to have a lower order that can chase. We can't lose 3 wickets. Stubbs consolidates, then accelerates at the end. We need a solid middle to lower order. That's what we need.
Yeah, I agree. I think that opening both spots at the top of the order is going to be critical. We obviously all want Rickleton to do well. Unfortunately, he's been struggling. Riza, I think. What do you do? I think you probably have to persist with him as well. Give him another go. I mean,
I don't know about that. I
it's
think
so
Riza. Look, Dezozi is there.
yeah. Okay, that was my other thing was the Zozi comes in and then you got to drop one of your openers. You probably won't drop Rickleton because he'll keep. So yeah, I think
But then
Riza.
it goes back to what we were saying last week as well. If we could do that, I'm all for that. Then we have more players across all three formats.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
so
so he's out. I think guys like I don't think Donovan Frere.
Oh, shocking.
I don't know my rate to that guy.
it is a waste.
Yeah, you did
Waste.
say last week that he's been selected on name basically, and we saw the same thing. He offered us absolutely nothing,
Agreed.
absolutely
No, agreed.
nothing.
Agreed. I think the only difference with obviously the like Kov mentioned, the bowling lineup will be different. I think they should drop one of the openers, probably Riza, like you said, and then give Deva Brevis even a go in there somewhere. You know what I mean? Give Matthew Britsky a go. I think you can get rid of Rassi van der Dussen from the side now. I think
Yeah,
that sort of call to add him to the side, they thought, bring some calmness to that middle order. He's been and done that before, but he just looked out of sorts. Looked like he hadn't played a lot of cricket. Um, he just looked like he wasn't there. So I think he could probably go Donovan Ferreira out and then Riza out, and then you can keep the rest. I think Patrick Kruger, his spot again, he'll come under pressure
would
with
you
the.
consider would you consider bringing Riley back?
who?
Now that's my question. I don't know if you guys know whether you can put this online. If you guys know, why did he fall out of contention with the selectors? He was there obviously first he was in the
Yeah,
side
the
scoring.
coal pack initially,
Yeah,
and
then he went
then
No,
into
but
the
after
back.
the call back, when he came
But then he
back to
came
the
back.
World Cup, I think it was a hit or miss, and we all know that, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
Um,
but his hits or miss is like so. Riza, for example, even when he does hit, it's not an innings that will take the
it's not
game
much.
away from the opposition.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And Riz's miss, like we saw in the third game, was like 9 of 20, which is a
yeah, that
big.
was
It's like
terrible.
you might as well play with
Yeah,
one less player. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Whereas Riley, it's
Mm,
like 100 of 45 balls, or it's naught of two. You know
yeah,
what I mean? It's
yeah, yeah.
it's not
mm,
it's not going to hurt you. He's not going to be there and say, okay,
yeah.
I'm here to
It'll give you
waste balls.
some level of excitement as well. I mean, I
Yeah.
wasn't excited watching South Africa bat
No,
at any
100%.
point
At
except
all.
okay
Yeah,
when Stubbs was
when
I mean,
Stubbs was
within those
going, yeah.
six
Stubbs was
overs, we did
firing. But
nothing. We showed no intent. We didn't attack the bowling. The guys were able to bowl at us, and
yeah,
you just
because
felt like,
even in the rain affected game, you would think, I mean, the series lost. Let's just go out there and swing
Yeah,
for the fences.
100%, 100%. Yeah, but it's a top order. I mean, another one could be interesting. What would David Miller coming to the end of his career? Do you try him up there? Say, have a go at the top of the order. That'll be interesting. I think
that would be fun to
Oof.
watch at the very least.
I mean, if you've got finishers like Klassen, now you're wasting because you've got Klassen and Miller down the bottom, and
And
now you've got
Stubbs,
Stubb. So I mean,
exactly.
now there's no reason for you to. You've got three proper finishers, proper boundary hitters.
You
You
got
could, you
Markram
could
as
be,
well. Yeah.
But
yeah, you
Miller did well at 4 for Gujarat not too long ago.
know, but
Definitely in
yeah,
it.
Yeah, but
someone up there.
Maybe Markram opened Miller at three. And
Yeah, have a
I'd be for that.
have a
I
go.
don't know. I'm starting to get a bit shaky with Ed Markram. My patience is wearing a little bit thin with it because we back him on the idea that he's of sound technique. He looks like a batsman. He should be. The pedigree is there. The talent is there. We've seen it from the start of his career. What's happening though? Keeps going,
No, it's a form thing, and I've been a Aiden
but it's
Markram
been a
fan, but I
long
think
patch of bad form.
yeah, but it's also captaincy, etc., etc. And he is a good captain because he's an unselfish captain. And remember, bad form, Aiden Markram drops himself down, sends in, the guys that are in good form, and I like that about him. I think that he's got that sound technique. And even when we watched him play, he's crunching the ball on the offside. He's hitting those covered, offside sixes, etc. And it takes something special to do that. I think it's a form thing. He's given us just a little. The last real special innings I remember from Markram was that fastest 100 in, was it the ODI World Cup? That he cracked like 140 balls or something like that. But I feel like Markram may come into a patch of like 1 or 2 years, like what Klaasen just had, and give you this amazing spell. I hope it happens. But yeah,
Aren't we doing the same thing that it seems like we all do this? We do it with Sanju. We're doing it with Rickleton. We've done it with Markram.
yeah.
You see batsmen of sound technique that look like good cricketers, and it's hope that drives you to believe they're going to do well. I don't know. I think it's probably because we appreciate good batsmanship, but yeah, I'm just a bit worried.
The thing is, I think we've also got to consider the way the CSA looks at Markram. I mean, he's an all-format player. They probably
Definitely.
earmarked him from early days that he's going to take over the
From
captaincy
that
at
under
some point.
19 World Cup.
Exactly, and they're going to persist with him. And look, they might as well, because I mean, there's who do you, if you're going to drop him, who do you bring in the side?
Exactly.
Wait, on that note, if you drop Markram, who's your captain? No one else, right?
Yeah, exactly. Who do you captain? KG is probably have to captain the side.
Yeah, but still, I
Or
mean,
Marat.
KG as a
Marat comes
captain,
back in as
really.
captain. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you got no senior players there to take up reins. I mean, when the full strength side is back, yes, then you'll have Kesh, you'll have Klaasen could
Miller.
probably take over the captaincy. Miller could probably do it as well. But I mean, like tours like this where it was probably more of a learning experience for the players rather than a series where they were going to win.
Mm.
There you probably you look to a guy like Markram
Mm.
because of his experience and his captain at domestic level. He's done quite successfully with South Africa as well. Um, so I mean, he's someone that's probably going to be in that side for a long time, and they're going to keep persisting with him, which is fine because like Saru says, it's a form thing.
Mm.
We've seen him perform before. It's not like one of those
Yeah.
things where
Yeah,
it's a,
definitely.
it's a hope and pray, and we haven't seen
Mm.
anything from him, and we're just hoping for the best. But I think
Yeah,
he's fine in the side. It's just one of those things at the
I
moment for.
agree. But moving forward in any series, I don't want to hear anything about players being rested anymore. You select your team, your squad, and it's on merit. I mean, I don't understand. If you want to try players, you try two or three. I mean, you don't bring in like 8 players into the squad and say we're
Yeah.
in a transitional period. I mean, they haven't given us a lot of reasoning why all these players are rested. If it's purely because of the amount of cricket that they played, then it's back to our original argument. They all played in the Canadian T20 sorry, not World Cup, T20 competition. Some of them playing in Sri Lanka, MLC, all of those competitions, and then you're resting them in these kind of series. And it's
Makes no
one or two I
sense.
can understand, but it's half your first choice squad. I
But I
mean,
don't
I
understand this
yeah.
resting thing. They're playing these T20 tournaments and stuff. The maximum they're bowling is 4 overs in a game. You're out in the field for
Hmm,
20 overs. I mean,
yeah,
you used to play 5 Test match series. You used to
Literally.
bowl 25 overs in a day, and
hmm.
you were fine to play
I'll
and
give
going.
KG a break. I mean, he
Yeah,
bowled
KG
a
is
lot of
fine.
overs
Yeah,
But
in
he's
the
the
in the
one that's
Test
never
series.
rested. I mean, now he has been,
Hmm,
but he's the one that's always there. And in general, South African cricketers should never have an issue with playing more cricket. They play amongst the least cricket
yeah.
from all the big sides in the world. It,
exactly.
And
we
even
play
like
less
Nicholas
tests.
Puran, like all the competitions that he's played, his teams have made it quite far in semi-finals, finals, and he was ready to play. I mean, what gives South
Yeah,
Africa the
I don't understand.
the, the, the tap on the shoulder that, oh no, we need a rest?
I think it goes back to what we were saying last week, though. To be fair, when we said that there's this disconnect between Shukri, Rob, CSA, and the rest of the business. They don't have a plan. It's glaringly obvious that
Yeah.
yeah, it's mindless. We're gonna end up harping on the same thing, but I would hope that
Mm.
at some point in the near future this stops. There needs to be foresight, or otherwise, come the Champions Trophy, things are not going to look good at all. We're gonna be playing a bunch of old players and hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for trying, like I was saying, trying new players, but you need a bit of balance with experience. And when I mean
Yeah,
experience, I don't mean a guy like Rassi van der Dussen. I mean a guy like Klaasen who's dominated at this level, who's in
Yeah,
great form, who can actually he knows his place in the side is secure, and he doesn't have to worry about anything. He can pass knowledge on to younger players. Whereas a guy like Van der Dussen, he didn't make it into the T20 World Cup squad. So he sees this as same
As a
as
route
the young
back.
players, as an opportunity to perform. So he's more stressed about his performances rather than passing on any knowledge or all that kind of stuff. So, I'm all for, we spoke about it last week, getting new players into the side. But, I mean, that bowling lineup was so inexperienced. There's no one there to, I mean, if you, especially again, bowling to a guy like Nicholas Puran, you disappear for 3-6 in a row. Everywhere you turn, everyone's probably hiding their face. They don't know what to tell you because they have no experience about it. They don't know how to come back from, this kind of onslaught from the batsman. There's no advice being given to you by senior bowlers or anything like that. So, pick maybe two senior bowlers, pick three junior bowlers, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
I
split it up
agree.
like that. Whereas you've got an entirely new bowling lineup that you can only get disheartened by that. I mean, I don't see the value in going there and getting smashed. I don't understand that. You're not
It's
learning
it
it.
it's quite sad for Quena that he's come into, I mean, his first series. He's walked into a setup where there's absolutely no senior heads to kind of guide him. Whenever he got pumped, he looked around and he saw what Lazard Williams. What is he going to tell you?
Well, yeah, I
Not
mean,
much
not
more. He's
even
played. He's
Lazard.
played a few T20s himself. He doesn't have the international experience to kind of guide a young player. And you would love to see someone like Quena who is supremely talented. He's clocking
And the way he
150
bowled,
Ks.
yeah, and the way he bowled, it feels like the bowlers, the more senior bowlers were looking to him for advice because he was the only one that actually, showed anything of substance. So,
Yeah. Well, he got
um,
pumped here and there, but there is
you know,
inexperience.
I'm gonna
He was still the
find,
one
Yes.
that was running in.
yeah,
Everybody else was hiding.
yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, so with the series now over and the entire series with the Test series also finished, we're gonna do a little quick segment: red card, green card. Each person gets a red card to send someone away from South African cricket forever. Tell us who you don't want to see again, and then a green card as a sign of approval to give it to a player to say, yeah, you'd like to see him going forward. We'll start off with our guy Kums since he hasn't been here for a while. Red card.
For red card, I think it's going to be Riza. We've given him enough chances. Time to experiment and use whatever series we got going forward. For someone up top, someone new, so Riza must
Yo.
off. In terms of the person to keep, the next best thing, I have to go with Stubbs because he's young, he's got a lot of potential, very versatile, can play him 3, 4, 5, 6, and he can roll his arm over as well. So I think give him a green card. Yeah.
And he can keep.
Oh well, yeah,
Yeah.
keeper as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, my red card is Donovan Ferreira. I think he did nothing on this tour. He's done nothing since I've seen him in the South African side. We know he hits a long ball, but that's not enough. That's definitely not enough. The performances haven't been great, haven't been consistent. I think the step up to international cricket is just one level too high. And I think in those domestic leagues, he'll do well because you've got in those domestic generally you've got two or three bowlers that are of real quality, and then you've got another two or three bowlers that you can really have a go. When it's a full strength bowling lineup, he'll struggle, and we saw that in this series and previous series as well. So I think his time or his experiment is done. The guy to keep, I think, for me, it's Mark Parker. I think he's done well. Young boy in the side, really quick. Listening to the commentary, guys like Ian Bishop and stuff like that who have spoken to him already, they said he's someone that really thinks about the game and is very mature for his age. I mean, that can only bode well for South African cricket. And same school as KG, and apparently they're quite close. And KG offers him a lot of advice, and it seems like he's taking it on board. I think he'll be a good addition to South Africa's bowling lineup going forward, and it also helps that he's a lefty as well. So that's quite cool. So those are my two picks.
Cool.
Yeah, red card. I'm gonna go Rasi. He's had his chance. He wasn't good enough to make the World Cup squad. I don't see why we should try and give him a chance to get back into the team. Rather give young players a chance. Jason Smith and the likes. Green card. I'm gonna go Patrick Kruger. He hasn't done anything to say that he shouldn't be there. He did all that he could in the series. I would definitely have him over Jan Mulder. So Mulder also had his chances in the test matches. He did well, but when we're speaking specifically T20, I'd have Patrick Kruger and Marco Jansen as our all-rounders for now. He did well.
For me, the red card, I don't know, people might think it's a bit harsh, but beyond 14, I think he offers you nothing. He's done really well domestically, but he's never performed. Okay, he hasn't gotten a lot of chances, but he's never looked like someone that is going to turn a game for you. Shamsi has his issues as a spinner for us, but 14, I really don't think he has the sounds harsh, but I really don't think he has the skills to make it on the international stage. From the green card perspective, I'm going to go back to what we were saying earlier, and I think I'll fall into my own trap here. We're going to give Rickleton as much of a chance as we can. I think he definitely deserves a shot based on his domestic performances and prolonged runs of form that he's gone on in the past. So yeah, that's green card, red card. We picked a few that we want to disappear, or at least not make the T20 side in the near future, and a few green cards that we'd love to see going forward. Now, we're going to do one more quick thing before we get to FIFER. It's just a simple question. What do you guys make of Jay Shah becoming president of the ICC? What does this mean for the Champions Trophy in Pakistan? Is it still going to happen? Is it going to be moved to India?
I don't think India are gonna go. If it really happens in Pakistan, I don't think India are gonna go and play and just accept a big L. I was surprised by that. I don't know what to make of it. When I saw Jay Shah, yeah.
He was India's cricket savior,
surprised as
and
well.
now he's taken a step up. Now, with all of my previous chat about India colluding with the big boss is their own now.
Pretty much. I don't think they're going to go. That Champions Trophy, I think, was doomed from the start. There's a lot of cricket going on. You've got World Cup every 2 years with the 50 over and the 20 over, and then you've got, the Test Championship that they have to worry about, and then obviously all these domestic leagues that are around the world. I think that Champions Trophy was going to be doomed from the start. There's just too much cricket on the go, and now that Jay Shah's in charge, I don't think it's worth it for India to even bother. I think they'll probably not go, or like you mentioned, they might move it to India, but that's another issue on its own.
Yeah, that's a big issue.
People weren't happy about the way India's semi-finals were sort of constructed. Then now that they're moving the entire tournament to suit them, I don't know if that'll go on. As big as cricket is in India, I think Australians and
the
English
English.
will have a lot to say.
So we're going to end off with FIFER today. So as it stands in FIFER currently, Combs leads the way with a point percentage of 90%. He's missed a lot of recent time. Divi sits second with 53% after a poor showing last week. And Kuv is currently, he's gone up from 30% to 40%. So as per our FIFER World Test Championship standings, Combs is well and truly in the lead. Now the non-ball...
I need to go, guys, because I realize now that if I play, I can only pick it up from here. 91.
I was like, huh? I honestly thought you had to leave.
So I'll just stay back because 91%.
Some good facial expressions there. Well done.
So the non-FIFER question for today. The cricketer with the most test match appearances for South Africa is Jacques Kallis. How many appearances did he make?
164.
Okay, Divesh went 164.
149.
149 from Kuv.
175.
So Divesh is the winner, and my oh my, it was 166. That was almost on the head. So
I read that the other day. That's why.
Oh, wild. So the order for today then is, of course, Divi gets the easiest question. Then it will be Kums, then Kuv, and the same for steals. So for Divi then, the first question, and an easy one, I would think. Can you name the top 5 batsmen with the most runs in ODIs?
Okay, Virat is there.
Number 3, ding ding, Virat Kohli.
Sachin.
Sachin Tendulkar, number 1, ding ding.
Mahela Jha Warner.
Mahela Jawadne is number 6.
Okay, let's go. Let's go with this Chomi Kumar Sangakkara.
Kumar Sangakkara, number 2. Ding ding.
So that's the top 3 done, right? So
Yeah,
then
the
we've
top
got Jay
3.
Shah, but now we've got problems. Let's go Ricky Ponting.
Ricky Ponting, number 4. Ding ding.
And let's go for the last one. Someone who's played a lot of games but may not have the most runs. I would go Chris Gale.
Nope, Chris Gayle is not it. That is your bouncers bounced.
Let's go Rohit Sharma.
Rohit Sharma is also he's further down. He's about 10th. So we'll come to Combs then with the steal.
David Warner.
David Warner is not quite high up there. So Kov then.
Hayden.
Matthew Hayden is not it. So number 5 is Sanath Jayasuriya.
Oh,
we-
played a
we-
lot of games. Damn, man.
We danced all around that. Jayasuriya ended with 13,430 runs. Top
I was
man,
never gonna
Sachin
guess
Tendulkar, 18,426. Kumar, 14,234. Kohli, 13,906. So big runs there, big boys. So that was, of course, the easiest one. Divi got 4, of course, no steals. So then for Kums, the medium question, so to say, can you name the top 5 batsmen that were the fastest to 8,000 runs in ODIs?
Oof. Pash.
Ashim Amla, number 2, ding ding.
Kohli.
Virat Kohli, number 1, ding ding.
Chris Gale.
First miss.
Tendulkar.
Sachin Tendulkar's number
No
7.
way.
That's 2 bounces. You got one more.
Sankara.
Kumar Sangakkara is a number way down somewhere. Not it. So you got Kohli and Hash, number 1 and 2.
Man.
Boys to steal. Divi comes to it first.
I'm going to go Viv Richard.
Not it. Kuf?
I'm gonna go David Warner.
Not it as well. Whoa,
Can I go
guys.
again?
No. Unfortunately, no. So, number 3, AB de Villiers. Number 4,
say.
Saurav Ganguly. Number 5, Rohit Sharma. It doesn't change the fact that that is what the
Oh,
answer
no, I wouldn't have said Rohit or Saurav.
fair.
Rohit, they gave him too many chances in the beginning. So I would have
Fair
thought
enough.
he took forever to get there.
Number
I
6,
was thinking
interestingly
more
enough, Ross
Yeah.
Taylor, I think. Yeah, Ross Taylor.
Oh, wow. Again, Rusty. What?
Yeah, he's
I
done
wouldn't have
things.
said him either.
So I would have thought that the last question, which is for Kuv, was actually harder just based on what the options are.
For you,
The question then for Kuv. Can you name the top 5 players with the most dismissals in ODIs? And that obviously means any type of dismissal, like catches and stumpings.
I was gonna say Dhoni first.
Okay, so you got number 3, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Ding ding.
Okay. Adam Gilchrist.
Adam Gilchrist, number 2. Ding ding.
Sangakkara.
Kumar Sangakkara, number 1. Ding ding.
Has Butler kept a lot? Let's
So
go
Josh
Josh Butler.
Josh Butler is number 7.
Boucher.
Mark Boucher, number 4. Ding ding.
So it's the last one.
Yep.
Let's go. No, but McCullum didn't keep that much, eh? Which other countries?
Alright, we're going to count you down. So there's a potential
Yeah,
steal.
count me down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And your answer is?
Nah, blanket.
So we're going to take McCullum as the other option because that's the last
Yeah.
one you said.
Yeah,
Brendan
no,
McCullum
thank
is
you.
number 8. Brendan McCullum's number 8. So, Divi to steal?
I'm gonna go with someone who's probably been the keeper for a long time. I'm gonna go with Mushfiqur Rahim.
That is number 5. Ding, ding, ding.
No way. No way.
What on earth?
Okay.
I never expected you to get that one.
Correct.
That's a good one. Okay, so
Yeah, no, I was blanking on the countries, let alone the
Yeah, the
keeper.
countries were the big thing. And then when you said McCallum was 8 and he didn't even keep that much, I was like, oh no, Mushfiqur.
it had to be
Yeah.
someone long serving. So, as it ends there, Divi actually ends up with the 5 because he stole one. Kuv ends with 3 after 1 was stolen from him. He's actually been a huge loser to the whole steal thing. Every week it seems
Yeah.
like something gets stolen.
getting stolen.
And then Combs ends with 2 out of his 5. So the
should've went to
updated leaderboard is on screen, and of course this will continue for some time. Yeah, so boys, FIFER are going decently. It's getting a bit tighter now that Combs came back to sabotage himself in his own words, basically. But yeah, the next time that South Africa play cricket is against Afghanistan in ODI series in Sharjah, all 3 matches there. That is on the 18th, 20th, and 22nd of September, if I'm not mistaken. And then we follow that up with a series against Ireland in Abu Dhabi. A couple T20s in the mix and a couple ODIs as well. In between, there's a fair bit of cricket going on. England, Sri Lanka, some CPL action, and a bits and bobs of others. And we will discuss those going forward until South Africa play again. Any closing words from you boys?
Go
Don't
Springboks.
steal from me next week.
Kumza, are we
Yeah.
likely to see you anytime soon? Now that
Just
you messed it up?
Wide.
Stepping up, but yeah. Yeah.
That's a good close.
No, I'll be around. I'll be around, excited. Yeah.
So if you did enjoy this one and the FIFER and the red card, green card and all of that, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe and also check us out on all the audio platforms. But until the next one, please take care. Don't forget to pour shots and cheers.